Good evening, I'm Leanne Young. Thanks for joining us. The Vancouver Aquarium has suffered another loss. One of only 2 cetaceans left at the facility has died. Chester, the false killer whale who was rescued off a beach in Tofino in 2014, died early this morning. Anita Bath has the details.
At this point, we don't know how he died because a necropsy still has to be done. But one possibility is renal failure. Now, the aquarium says that does happen from time to time in stranded cetaceans because of injuries they get while beached. Now, no one from Van Aqua is commenting today, but they did send this statement. Regular health checks and assessments are part of the care of every animal at the aquarium. Chester was looking well earlier this week in his usual good spirits and responding well during his enrichment and training sessions. By Wednesday afternoon, however, his behavior changed. Despite overnight intensive care on Wednesday and Thursday, he passed away early Friday morning. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Chester, he arrived at the Vancouver Aquarium in July of 2014 after people in Tofino found him right here, undernourished and dehydrated on a beach nearby. After being rehabilitated, he was deemed non-releasable into the wild by the Department of Fisheries and Oceans. Basically, they said if he went back into the wild, he would die. So he's been kept at the aquarium ever since. Now, of course, this will all add fuel to the debate about whether the aquarium should be able to keep cetaceans captive. The aquarium argues Chester would have died in the wild, but critics today say maybe that's what should have happened. Chester was believed to be about 3.5 years old, and false killer whales in the wild typically live to around 50 years of age.
There's a question of what is the point of supposedly rescuing an animal, keeping it in captivity where it not only cannot thrive, but it appears they can't even survive. There's plenty of scientific evidence that shows that cetaceans suffer in captivity.
Now, of course, this isn't the first death we've seen recently at the aquarium. In November of 2016, the 2 remaining belugas, Aurora and her grown calf, Keela, died 9 days apart. And in June, Daisy, the harbor porpoise, also died. Chester's death leaves one last cetacean, a Pacific white-sided dolphin named Helen. Anita Bath, CBC News, Vancouver.
In response to Chester's death, a small group of protesters held a vigil for the animal outside the aquarium this evening.
Chester was as close as they've come, I guess, to a true rescue, and even then those noble intentions are pretty problematic. Chester ended up living a short life in captivity, living for people mostly to be entertained by him.
They're calling for more transparency around the deaths of animals at the facility and say that any more cetaceans rescued by the aquarium should be released or allowed to live as naturally as possible.